Hello, my name is Jamie Garcia, and I come on here to put a shout out here on YouTube because the Bible tells you to not support sin but expose it whenever you get a chance. I've been watching this prophet that goes by the name of Troy Black on here, and y'all should know I would not take his prophecies to heart. He is a mouthpiece for the devil. The truth is not in him. None of the words he speaks from the Bible does he give to you off the tap. He just twists them to mean what he wants them to say. There is a Sabbath rest for the believers of God. And it's even Friday to even Saturday. Hebrews chapter 3 and 4 tells you as a people, if you fall short of it, that you will fall by the same example as they did in the desert. Those people led out of Egypt into the desert by Moses. That if we don't exhort others to do it or enter that rest, that we're going to fall by the same example. And that there's a certain place of a seventh day. In this place God rested. Just saying, Sunday worship is not something you should be doing because God did not implement Sunday worship. The only day God implemented was Saturday. That was the fourth commandment of God, to remember it and to keep it. So those of you that worship on Sunday and say, He rose on the first day, therefore we worship on the first day, you should know that's going to get you into outer darkness, because the Bible tells you that is exactly what it'll do. Because Isaiah chapter 1 tells you that your new moons and your new Sabbaths are iniquity. The sacred gathering, the sacred assembly, his heart cannot endure. And it gives you a reference of Matthew 15 on that. That tells you when you put a commandment, a tradition of man, in front of a commandment of God, then whatever you do after that, you do in vain. So when Jesus said, many people will approach me and say, Lord, Lord, those are people that profess their love for him. Those are people that believe and teach and cast demons out in his name. Yeah, he's going to say, depart from me. I never knew you. Or you worker of iniquity. It tells you your new moons and new Sabbaths are iniquity in chapter 1 of Isaiah. So, again, read the Bible, because Hebrews chapter 3 and 4, it does not tell you that you enter a rest in Jesus or whatever. Jesus tells you there's a certain place of a seventh day. In this way God rested. And that matches up with Genesis 2. Now, you could take that as judgment for me, but I hope you don't. I hope you take it as conviction, because these are the right word of God. They are right from the Bible. And I challenge anybody to read them and tell me that I interpreted them wrong. But read them fully first, and stay in that book, and not say, hey, that was resolved at the cross. But read the words and say, yup, this means this or that, one way or another. Decide what it means. And if you do, you'll find that Sunday's wrong. And if you keep doing that, you will go into outer darkness, because that's profaning his holy name. He says when you put a tradition in front of his commandment, that is wrong. That you are walking against him. You are not walking with him. And I don't mean to be mean in saying this to you, but please take what I say to heart and not slough it off with a grain of salt, because our time is growing short. It really is. Jesus is coming. People will say nobody knows the date and the hour, but those are the same people that don't read a little bit further and read the part where it says, but you are not a child of the dark, but a child of the light, that this day should overtake you. Or that part where it says nobody but the angels, not even only the Father in heaven, when Jesus said it in Matthew 24. Those are the same people that say that you're going to get raptured up. before it, they don't go to line 29 in the same chapter to read where it says, immediately after tribulation, the moon will darken, the stars will fall, the sun will go dark, and then the sign of the Son of Man will appear. That's about his second coming. And he said that's not going to happen until after tribulation, immediately after. So you could keep on self-deceiving yourself, or you could read the Bible, and even though it's a bitter pill to swallow, accept it for the truth and not what you think it means in your heart. But read the actual words. And if you don't, if you're choking on them, have somebody else read it for you and hold your hand and say, yeah, that doesn't mean what you think it means. Go to somebody, have a couple people read the same thing in there and see if they come up with the same conclusion as you do. Go to an unbeliever and have them read it and see what they say it says. That right there will be enlightening to you. Well, I hope y'all do it. I love you. Not with a carnal one, but with a godly one. Have a good night.